Hi, I'm Jono,
Hi, I'm Heather.
and we're Cry Club. This song has been in the set for a very long amount of time. I think it's like within the first 20 songs we wrote.
Goal!
The instrumental for it was kicked off because I was like, what if we wrote like a preset song and it was like punk instruments, but I'm not allowed to listen to the presets because I'll get too close to what they would sound like if I actually reference them specifically. Completely underrated band.
Oh, yeah.
Astonishingly
yeah.
good. Yeah, I think it's one of the songs that has connected the most live.
I love to watch everyone just go like, yeah, in the audience. They're like, bruh.
There has been the joke now of every time we announce a single that someone is like, is it Dissolve?
Some poor
Dissolve
bastard
when?
is like, it's Dissolve. And then we're like, here's lighters. And we're like, I'm so fucking sorry, bro. It's
Bro.
not Dissolve.
Bro, I come to you apologizing.
Please take this auto-tune ballad instead.
This is the fun thing though, it's like, I think Dissolve is like the cousin of DFTM in a way, because instrumentally they're like bass driven songs.
I'm just thinking about how our bass player currently is.
Ableton. When you see us play live, it's on stage is me, Heather, Tina, our live drummer, and then me from a while ago.
Jono from the past. We do Dissolve live, and I think, modestly, one of the best things about the song is my back bend. Which I just decided...
My choreo.
My choreography. Choreography? It's like when choirs do.
Fuck out of here.
It wasn't rehearsed at all, definitely, when I started doing it. I was just like, you know what I should try to do? Sing Upside Down, which was inspired in part by Lindsay Way from Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Yeah.
She did a fucking backbend. A lot of people are like, backbend! I'm like, oh, sorry.
The lapel mic on Heather's chest, like a little baby bird.
I did hurt myself real bad one time doing the backbend. It was at a very extremely 3 hours away regional high school. Very strange to have us because, regional towns can be a little bit more conservative, but they were making an effort to be inclusive and diverse, which I really appreciate. And I could see a lot of the kids were like,
whoa.
what is that? And I was like, hello, children. I have a tattoo. That makes me cool. So many people were not watching me. I could see the kids like, they have a tattoo. I was like, sick one. And there are a bunch of younger queer teenagers and non-binary teenagers, which is very sweet.
I remember you getting informed of all the queer high school drama.
I can't remember who it was, but they filled me in on all the lesbian drama in their area, and I was living. I was like, tell me everything. Oh my God. Because I think at that time, I was like, there's not enough lesbian drama in my life. It was, again, one of those things where the song is extremely metaphorical.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell what the song is about.
Yeah. Especially when uni or school ends, everyone's going to be spread out more. So if you want to stay in touch with a lot of these people, you have to put way more effort in than you would have been doing otherwise, which is a bit of a jarring experience.
It sucks. Everything is much harder.
Everything sucks now.
You have to work, and then you have to work to see your friends. There's 5 more steps because you're not seeing them at school or at uni or at TAFE or at
there's all these layers of effort involved in just having a social life.
And then it's also the anxiety of is someone just too busy, or do they just not care enough to make effort on their end when you're making a lot of effort on your end?
And then how that is flipped, where it's are people seeing me in the same way? And then it's just but shit's just hard.
Yeah. And also classic mental illness moment of this person...
Do you hate me?
Yeah, do you hate me? I think you hate me. And then you work it up in your head you hate me. So you know what? I hate you. I hate you. Bitch, fuck off. I hate you.
And then you see them and then everything is chill and you're like, oh, I made that up.
And they come to your shows all the time and then you're like, oh. The whole song is my life story of, sorry, I overreacted.
When I think of Dissolve, one of the first thing that comes into my head is Diane,
Yeah,
a friend of ours
our
from
friend
Sydney.
Diane.
And when we did the Robert Smith tour, she like came to 3 of the shows.
We had the Oxford Art Factory show, and Diane, this was her second show, and I was like, man, you fucking rule. And then I started playing Dissolve, and I did my little like, I'm always like, this song's about shit friends. As the intro was starting, I was like, Diane's here. This one's dedicated to like Diane. In my head, it made sense, but what actually happened was like, this song is about shit friends. This one's for Diane. And I didn't even notice until she like tweeted about it.
And
like
someone made a
dragging
meme
me.
about it.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's the worst I've ever felt in my life.
It was
because
so good.